A very good morning to all my dear students. Hope you all are fit and fine. Welcome to the standard 3rd subject computer. As in the previous class, we were discussing about the features, it means the advantages of the computers. So now we will move forward to the limitations of the computer. As the computer has many advantages, it has some drawbacks also. It means a computer is also not complete. It is having some limitations also. So now let's see its limitations. A computer has many limitations. First, it has no emotions and feelings. It never feels happy, bored or tired. It means that a computer do not have any emotions. Like a human being, we feel happy, we feel sad, we feel tired, but a computer does not feel anything. It means that it has no emotions or no feelings. Second, it does not learn anything on its own. Its knowledge and working capability are limited to the programs installed on it. It means that a computer is not able to learn anything new. It does not learn anything new. Knowledge and its working depends on the programs that are installed in it. For example, if we have already installed Microsoft Word 2007, then it will be working on the 2007 only. It does not learn anything on its own. It means that it is not possible to install 2010 itself. First, the user have to install that programs in the computer and it will work on that programs also. It means like human beings, the computer cannot learn anything itself. Third limitation, it cannot take decisions on its own. It works according to the given instructions. It means that a computer is not able to take the decision himself or itself. It means that as a human being, we take our decision that today we do not want to go to school, today mama I will not do homework, like that decisions we can take. But a computer is not able to take any decision itself. It works according to the instructions given by the user. It means that if you are working on the computer as a student, then it will obey you. It means that a computer will work as per you. It is not able to take its decision itself and it will never tell you no about anything. Fourth, it cannot take care of itself. It is dependent on us for care. It means that a computer is not able to take its care itself. Like we take bath every day, we take care of us, that it does not hurt us. It means that we eat the food properly, we drink water regularly. In the same way, a computer is not able to take care of itself. It means that no one is cleaning him, it remains dirty. It means that if its memory is full and we are not cleaning it, then it will be full only. It means that it is not able to take care of itself. It means a person or the user have to take care of the computer. It have to clean it regularly. It should maintain the data regularly. A person, he or she have to maintain his or computer regularly. It means a computer is not able to take care of itself. Now, fifth. It cannot think. It depends on the set of instructions provided to it. It means that a computer is not able to think. It does not understand anything. So it depends on the instructions. It means if a user is giving any instructions to open Microsoft Word or to open Microsoft Excel to perform the calculation, it just works on the instructions given by the user. It cannot think anything. Okay. So now we have studied about the limitations. Now we will move forward to the types of computers. Different types of computers are used at various places for different purposes. Computers are classified into 4 types on basis of size. It means there are 4 types of computers and it is basis on their size. It means some are small, some are big. Okay, so all the computers are different in size. So first is microcomputer. Microcomputer are most commonly used computers. It means we use microcomputers the most. They are very small in size. It means it is very small in size. It is also known as personal computer. So what is the different name of microcomputer, students? A microcomputer is also known as a personal computer. They are generally used in places like school, office, shop and home. So we use the microcomputers at school. In our lab, computers are there now, that is known as the microcomputers. Okay, so our lab computers are known as microcomputers. Offices, schools and homes. In this way, in these places we use the microcomputers. So here are some images of the microcomputer. This is the handheld computer that is known as a palm top. It is an example of microcomputer. This is personal digital assistant. It means PDA. This is also the type of microcomputer. Third is laptop. I think you must be familiar about the laptop at your home. Your father, your mother must be using laptop. So this is also an example of microcomputer. Then tablet. This is also an example of microcomputer. Okay students, so that are microcomputers. Now we will move forward to the second type of computer, that is mini computers. They are bigger than microcomputers. It means that the mini computers are bigger in size than the microcomputers. They are more powerful than microcomputers. It means that they are more strong. It means they have more memory power than microcomputers. Why? Because they are big in size. Therefore, they are more powerful. Then third, they are faster than have more memory. It means they work very fast. Why? Because it have more memory, so more data will be stored, and therefore it works very faster. Fourth, they are used in offices to connect many computers together. It means that from one computer, many computers are connected. Like in our lab, there is server-client relationship. It means that the teacher's computers is working all the other client computers. It means that the server computer combines or connect all the other computers. So, it is known as an mini computers, which is used to connect many computers together. Okay, so now the third one is mainframe computers. There are large computers and have many terminals connected with the network. It means they are very large in size and they are having many terminals. Many terminals means many wires are there to connect it with the network. They are used in the big organization, in big company, big organization, big institution, malls. In these all things, mainframe computers are used. They are faster and larger storage capacity than mini computers. It means that mainframe computers are more larger than mini computers. They are larger than mini and micro computers, and they are having very fast speed because they have more storage. So more fastly they run. They are mostly used for business and scientific research purpose. It means that in business purposes and scientific research, it means scientist uses these computers more to search anything new. Okay, here you can see the figure. These are the mainframe computer. It means very big in size, and everywhere you can see the terminals. It means the wiring to connect the large group of computers. Okay, so now the fourth type of computer is supercomputers. They are most powerful computers. It means that it is more powerful than other three types of computers, and they are very expensive, very costly. We have to pay very much amount to buy this type of computers. They are used for weather forecasting and defense purposes such as control satellites and missiles. It means they are particularly used for weather forecasting. It means that the weather forecasters used it, that whether it will rain today or not, what is the climate today, in next 3 days is cyclone going to come or not, is the rain going to start or not. So most probably it is used for weather forecasting. It means to see the climate condition. And also they are used in defense purpose. It means that in creating whenever the fight is there or the war is there between the two countries, and it is used to control the satellite and the missiles. We throw the missiles to the other countries. It means if the fight is there or if the war is there, then in the defense purposes also the supercomputers are used to control the satellites and the missiles. Now fourth, India has produced many supercomputers. Param is one of them. Okay, so for one type of supercomputer is Param. It is invented by our scientists. So a Param is one type of supercomputer. So once again repeat with me, which is the one type of supercomputer? Param. So Param is one type of supercomputer. Okay students, it will be there for today. Now we will move further to other three types of computers. It means that a computer is of 4 types, and in that 4 type again it is classified into other 3 types, okay, on basis of their operation. It means that how it operates, or what is its OS, operating system. On that also a computer is further classified. So that we will study in our next period. Okay, till then, bye bye, have a great day ahead.